From the ages of, I think, about 12 to 18, all the way to when I was about 19, I genuinely couldn't sit down and focus on all the boring tasks like reading, studying. I could just do what was enough to just get a decent grade. I think I was about a C, a 60% or something. But I couldn't actually commit to goals. I couldn't be the student that went the extra mile effortlessly. But if that sounds anything like you, then you might want to stay tuned and hear what I'm about to say next. Today we'll be discussing how to unlock your full potential, especially as a young man. This is very essential. First off, you need to realize that everything you did in high school, pretty much, it might not equate to you being successful in life. If you had bad habits in high school, that might not necessarily mean you'll have good habits or you'll have success in tertiary or in life in general. If you look at it this way, the only difference between a winner and a loser is one thing: their daily systems, what they do on a regular basis. Not the goals. The goals are actually the same. Both the person in first place and second place and third place, all those three people, all wanted to be the winner. They both had the same goal, which was first place. But the differentiator is the systems they put in place. The person in first place realized that, look, I have a goal. Now, for me to achieve this goal, I need to make sure I do these tasks religiously. I need to wake up at this time religiously. I need to work hard religiously in a way where I don't burn out. Now, that's another thing people don't talk about, but I'll make another video on that later on. That's another thing people don't talk about: burnout. I need to work hard every day and make sure I avoid burnout. I need to make sure that every day I perform when everyone else is not performing. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, when the winner gets the award, this is the first time they perform like this. But no, they've been winning. The last 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, they've been putting in the work consistently, but nobody was there to applaud them. But they've been winning. They stay winning. That's the main thing you need to understand. You need to set goals and then work backwards from there. Now, what's the equivalent of working backwards from setting goals? Setting systems. Everything you do on a daily basis needs to align with the big goal you have in the long term. If you set a goal to work or to work out, say for instance, I'll use two examples. I'll use a work scenario and a gym scenario. First off, say for instance you want to start a business, and you have work and you have school and or you have school. How are you going to accomplish this? First off, you might say, okay, look, I need to do the bare minimum. Let me put in 1 to 2 hours every day. With that being said, you're going to need to make sure that you track your progress every day. You're going to need to make sure that you stay accountable every day. Say you miss one day, make sure you do not miss twice. You're going to want to track your habits, track your big task, your 1 hour. It could be before work, after work, or heck, maybe even during work on your lunch break. Say you don't need a lunch break. You're going to need to make sure that you track it religiously. Like the person that wins, you're going to need to make sure that you track it. So track it daily to begin with. That's the easiest thing you can do, and that's the first action step you could take to actually start winning today and stay winning. So first off, track it daily. And from there, you're going to want to track your weekly progress and have a weekly goal of where you want to be as compared to where you started the week. And then track it monthly. See how you perform then. So that's the first thing, setting goals. Setting goals is very important, but alongside that, you're going to want to set systems to actually make sure you accomplish those goals. Now, the second thing is actually how to work. Now, I knew about this thing called flow state from a very young age, but I just didn't know what it was called. Whenever I was training in the gym, fighting or whatever, I knew about the flow state because that was one of my best states. I didn't really have like, well, I did have a flow state when I was playing FIFA, but but yeah, that was about it. I knew about the flow state. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to identify how to get into your flow state. Now I'll share with you how I get into my flow state. As I'm talking to you right now, I don't have a script written word by word for word, or like a script that I'm reading off of. Mainly because I'm in a flow state. Now, how do I get into this flow state, you might ask? First off, I start off by intermediate fasting. I make sure I don't eat for the first 4 to 6 hours of the day, only water. And the second thing I do is drink some coffee. Water and coffee is what I have. Coffee with a bit of honey. And yeah, that's the main thing I do to get into my flow state. And then I just get to working. I try to stay away from social media, try to keep it to a minimum. I stay away from my phone. I start replying to texts around 9 a.m., having woken up at about 5. Now, you need to realize and you need to identify what works best. Now, the human body is very fascinating. The one thing I love about it is that it has this thing called survival mode. If you don't eat first thing in the morning, your body is technically in survival mode. Now, there might be some science gurus out there that might debunk what I'm saying, but I'm pretty sure you get the gist of it. You haven't eaten, your body's saying, yo, we need to eat. We need to eat. There is no time for complacency. Now, with all that being said, those are just the two things about this video. Unlocking your full potential. The main things I would say are setting goals and identifying your flow state. So technically, it's setting goals to actually know where you want to be, and tapping into your flow state to actually get to where you want to be. Now, that's pretty much it for today. Stay winning.